Alright, so this right here is one of our more sophisticated units. So this right here is a three-phase air, oil, water separator. So if I run into the back, this right here is a three-phase separator. So I got this manifold right here pumping in water. Half-inch side of the tubing is pumping in oil, and then the quarter side tubing is pumping in actual air. So from here, they all merge, come in through this tubing, come out, and it has a blend ratio, right? It just comes in with oil, water, and air. Currently, I took the oil out, so I have no oil because I was cleaning the system out. But if you look right here, I'm controlling the level, pretty stable. So if you look back here on this side, it's kind of hard to see. I need to kind of clean that out. But if you look on this side, you can kind of see the weir. Let me get down here. There we go. So there's the weir, right? So that's where we're controlling the water level so that the oil can trickle down over. So as you can see, this part of the exchanger is pretty much dry since I'm controlling the water level right there. From here, it'll drain out and go to the oil reservoir. But if we look up here, I have my pressure transmitter that's monitoring the pressure or the air that's inside the tank, while I have this actual control valve right here regulating the actual pressure in the system, right? And so since this is a closed tank, I also have level transmitters. And these level transmitters are configured in the wet leg configuration. So as you can see, you got your two impulse lines. You got your high tap or your high side on your low tap, and then your low side sensor on your high tap. So once again, if I come to this side, that transmitter that I showed you earlier was to measure the level of the oil. This transmitter right here is to measure the water in the actual water side of the system. And then down here, we actually have the valve that's controlling the level inside this tank. So this side over here is the front side of the system. So I got my water tank and my oil tank. So if we look right here, I have this pump being controlled by a VFD. I have a pressure transmitter that's controlling the back pressure of the pump, with a flow transmitter controlling the flow to the actual separator. So right now I currently have both of these systems isolated from one another, but what I believe I'm gonna do is end up creating a cascade system. And so the way I'm gonna do the cascade system is by controlling level, or controlling the flow with the level set point, right? So the level is gonna be the primary controller, and the flow would be the secondary controller. And so what I would do by doing that, I will pretty much lock out this valve and just close it pretty much 100%, open up this valve 100%, and use the flow transmitter with the pump to generate the flow rate that'll monitor or control the actual level input to the actual separator. And the way I'm gonna do that is, once again, like I said, it's a more advanced system. So we have the Allen Bradley L32E. So once again, this system right here, or this PLC, allows me to actually do cascade control and ratio and all the other features. As of right now, once again, is a control panel. These wires are all pretty much messy. I was letting my students run in the actual signal wires from the valves and the transmitters, letting them shoot the loop, prove the loop, commission the loop, and all that cool stuff. Once again, you got the 120 distribution, 24 volts distribution, your analog inputs, your analog outputs, your discrete inputs, which are discrete outputs. If I close the panel once again, this is the HMI. I'm making some minor modifications, but for the most part, I'd like to keep my systems pretty much with the generic interface. So once again, this is the front side of the system, and this is the separator side of the system. So this is the master controller, which allows me to control both sides of the system, while I have a secondary controller, aka the HMI, which is this one right here. This secondary controller will only control the actual separating side, for the fact that it's just a secondary controller. I just decided like that. This right here is your junction box. So this allows me to pretty much mess up the wiring and let the students troubleshoot and figure out, you know, if the transmitter was properly grounded or drained, sorry, with the drain wire, or if the signals are matching correctly and whatnot. I'll normally just flip some transmitters around, you know, loosen up some wires and let them troubleshoot the system to figure out what the issue is. So, yep, this right here is pretty much one of the first systems that we built. We were kind of in the learning phase with this one, but at this point I feel like it's time for us to make some updates, some modifications to the control system, and so I hope you guys will tag along for that project. So once again, this is a 3-phase oil, air, water separator.